first one that went off, I was right next to the entrance of the shooting range. It was like 10 feet away. Little noisy this morning. Oof. I was down in the valley, that church I walked by a little bit ago. There's quite a bit of elevation gain. All that used to be right up there. It doesn't look too ancient. Probably last year. At the summit of Mount Nemo. Not really much of a summit, but this is along the Niagara Escarpment. And I believe that stake is marking the highest point. It's overlooking some farmland here in southern Ontario. And some pretty steep drops there. Today marks the day I hit 100 miles. That'll happen mid-hike. Due to some parking situations, I'm actually having to do this section in reverse. That's the direction I'm going. And that's where I've come from. Oh, that whole ridge all the way through, I've hiked that already. It's been quite the journey so far. Oh. Bald eagle. There he is. All that rain, wow. I saw pictures of this area last week before the rain and it was almost dry. Grateful for this bridge. Little sketch. As you know, I kind of have selective reading in areas like this. That is quite the drop. Can't even see the ground. It's covered by the treetops. I am approaching the border of the Iroquois section of the Bruce Trail, which is the second section I'll have completed. The first section was the Niagara section. When I cross under this bridge, I'll enter into the Toronto section. The point that I think the border is like literally under the bridge, but I guess there's a plaque on the other side. When I reach this bridge, I will have completed about 210 kilometers. I'll hit 220 in my car, roughly. Let's pretend this line here is actually that makes sense because there's the middle of the bridge. I'm in the Iroquois section, Toronto section, Iroquois section, Toronto section. Okay, that was fun. I have completed 2 sections out of 9 of the Bruce Trail. That's pretty awesome, actually. Pretty happy about that. I don't see a plaque, though. My trail angel this morning told me there was a plaque. So, if I find the plaque, I'll pull the video up again. Now, there's the sign. They had to wait until they were on Conservancy land. They probably wouldn't let them put a plaque under the bridge. People would be stopping to see, what the heck is that? Club section boundary. I have done all of this. All of this. This is crazy. I am right there. Got a ways to go. Toronto section looks pretty short. I wonder if I can finish that next week. Then Caledonia Hills, Dufferin Highlands, the Blue Mountain region, Beaver Valley, Sydenham, and the peninsula. I'll get pictures. The sun is a problem. Welcome to the Iroquois Club section. That's this side of the sign. Well, under the bridge. This is a pretty cool section. Just all trees. I feel like somebody ran through here with a can of paint and said, "Oh, this looks good. Oh, let's turn here." You would get lost without these blazes. Oh, turn. We've been the last half kilometer or so. Looks like we're coming out of it in a minute. Yep. Back into normal forest here. It's a lot of crevices in this section where the escarpment is peeling off itself and falling into the valley. It's a long way down. It just hit. Oh, there's a animal down there. Poor guy did not make it. This is about how fast I have to hike to outrun the mosquitoes. It's pretty thick out here today. If I stop even for a second to take a picture, I get like 10 mosquito bites. Gotta keep moving. This is a pretty cool section. Last kilometer or so, maybe. Probably half a kilometer so far. It's going right in the middle of a hedgerow between two farmers' cornfields. I don't know if you can see the other one over there, but it's obviously the trail's been here for a long time and they keep having to cut it out. Some of it there's like tunnels almost in the trees because it's so overgrown. It's kind of a neat section. Corn looks pretty close to ready to pick. And it looks like we're going back into the woods again, so that's the end of it. But anyway, thought I'd share that. It's kind of neat. This is a pretty cool section. Pictures are hard to do it justice, so is video. But, just run video a little bit as I'm going through here. Trail goes that way. I'm gonna go off trail a little bit and just explore here. See all these caves down here. Oh, it's temperature dropped like 10 degrees. Nice and chilly. This is really cool. Just crevices out. I walked over that a little bit ago. I had a feeling it was going back through here. This is pretty neat. Alright, back on the trail. Alright, I'm going out through there, but I need to stop and take some pictures, so. Cornfields are right there. We're going through the hedgerow. It looks like a squirrel is taking advantage of the crop. These little tiny bugs. It's not focusing. There we go. Very muggy day today. The rain is just sprinkling. It's kind of tapering off. I'm hoping to not have much rain today. It is going to be a hot one. Trying to pull off about 62 kilometers this weekend. 23 of them today. I think 18 tomorrow, and then 22. I don't know. I think it's closer to 65. I don't remember. It ends up being longer because of the side trails I have to take for parking. But it's good to be back on the trail. If I manage to get an Uber tomorrow, because I don't have a ride, and I can get all 3 hikes in on Monday, I will hit a third of the way done, which is pretty exciting. So, a little bit of the trail. A little muddy today. Looks like we got quite a bit of rain last night. But, right. You learn very quickly when you're doing the Bruce Trail not to get excited when you start going downhill. After all, this trail pretty much goes right along the escarpment. So if you're going down, you're going back up again. And usually it doesn't take very long. Looks like we had quite a bit of rain. A lot of blowdown through here. Looks like the volunteers are busy cutting up all the trees that were in the path. And this is what I'm talking about. What goes down must go back up again. Looking at my topo map, this goes up like this for about another almost a kilometer. Still going up. This is kind of cool. This part of the trail is going right by an old quarry. A lot of quarries along the escarpment due to the fact that, well, it's the escarpment. A lot of limestone, a lot of rock to mine over the years. There is a side trail that goes through the quarry, but I'm not actually taking that. It might be, ooh, here's a little view of the quarry probably. Yep. Oh, somebody's been out here having a fire. I'm already sweating like crazy. It is going to be a hot day today. Glad I got an early start. Anyway, I want to get some pictures, so no more video. The nice thing after climbing 1.5 miles back up into the top of the escarpment is you get rewarded by some flat sections. You know, a lot of this is covered in dirt still, but then you go through areas like this where the dirt has worn down and the limestone of the escarpment is exposed. Okay, relatively level. A little bit of up and down. Figured I'd take a few more videos today. I've been taking lots of quick snapshots. But I figured I'd give you a chance to see what it's like to actually hike the trail as you're sitting there in your comfy chair in the air conditioning. Got an early start. It's only about 20 to 8 right now, I think. But yeah, it looks like the next going to be going along the ridge for a while. Every once in a while, get a nice view. Right now, it's more of a slope, so there's no steep cliffs. You don't really see much, but very quiet today. I probably won't see many people today because the section that I'm doing, you don't really do unless you're doing the whole trail. There's nothing super notable until I get to the last 3 or 4 kilometers, I think I go through the Cheltenham Badlands, which I think I just go through the corner, so I'm not going to see much of it. Here's a view, a little bit. But I guess you can't really hike on the Badlands, the rocks themselves anymore, but I'm hoping to at least see a little bit of it today. If not, it's one of those day trips that's worth taking. The rocks are just really cool. There's usually a lot of crevices too. You'll all of a sudden walk around a corner and there's like a 20-foot crevasse. All the roots growing over, trying to hang on for dear life. It is muggy. I'm sweating like crazy today already. I'm hoping to get into some areas that are exposed with a little bit of a breeze later. That would be nice. So this is what it's like to hike the Bruce Trail. I've got almost 5 kilometers down already. About 18 more to go. I'm in a conservation area. It's a Silver Creek conservation area. I am right there. I started right there, so I've already done all this. And then looks like I got another loop, and then I don't know if it goes to the road or what. It's on my map, but anyway, that's all for now. Yeah, I just came down from way up there. And it looks like we're going to be in the valley for a bit. Looking at the topo map, I wish I could show you a screenshot of that, but I don't really want to drag the paper map out of my pocket. But that's the ridge I came along. I'm going to go through here for a bit and then go up the other side. That big valley, it's actually taking a loop around here in the valley and then going up the other side. And then I'll be continuing on from there. It's nice to get out in the open once in a while. Not on a road. The last bunch of sections, there hasn't been much road walking, which is nice. For those of you who don't know anything about the Bruce Trail is a narrow ribbon of wild preserved along the Niagara Escarpment. It's a project that started in the 40s, I think, to preserve a hiking trail from St. Catharines, well, actually Queenston, right at the border, right across from Lewiston, all the way to Tobermory on the Bruce Peninsula. Now the escarpment continues through Michigan, on the Upper Peninsula, and crosses Manitoulin Island first. But it's largely private land. People that have given the ability to walk across it, so they're kindly letting us be part of it, walk on their property, which is why occasionally you're walking on the roads, because there's no people who have 10th line. So yeah, here's an example, 10th line road. The trail just goes around the corner here and right back in. Trail, that's the side trail. I wasn't paying attention to the blazes. So let me show you how this works. See, I saw a sign back here. I can explain how the blazes work. What in the blazes? They'll have these painted on trees, posts, whatever. Sometimes if it's a whitish tree, they'll do a tuxedo blaze. And then this will tell you that the trail's about to turn left, the trail's about to turn right. So I wasn't paying attention because I was doing a video. All right, so there's just going straight. So it's probably walking down the road a little bit. I have a map, which I'll look at if I don't. Yeah, so it's just going straight on 10th line for a bit. And if you get walking and you're not seeing a blaze after a while, there is a side trail. There's about 550 kilometers of side trails along the route. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a blaze up there. So we are on the right trail here. So it looks like we're doing a little bit of road walking. Not sure how far because I didn't look at the map. But this is a section where they probably were not able to get a landowner to share access. So big old pond here. I'm wondering if this is part of an old quarry. I don't know. Actually kind of looks man-made. Got a little, be a nice Airbnb. Anyway, back on the trail. A little bit different area here. Over the last, I don't know, half kilometer or so, the trees have shifted into a lot more birch. Still pretty muggy. I don't think that's going away. The temperature's rising. This road has been the old road that been going steadily uphill. It just leveled off. This is that other side of the valley I was talking about. Looks like it's going to go level like this for a while, but then it's going to take a sharp upwards trend. I'm guessing that's when we get off this old road and back onto some more rugged trail and go up to the top of the escarpment again. Anyway, just wanted to show you the birch trees that I'm walking through now. There's some more. There's a blaze. I know I'm on the trail. We're in a conservation area, Terracotta Conservation Area. A lot of other trails crisscrossing through. There's the Bruce. So, it's going to be pretty uneventful for a bit. Later we get to go into Badlands, which is cool. Walk through an area. I got a couple pictures with a little bit of mini Badlands. But I'll get some good pictures and video once we get to them. That'll be probably near the end of the hike. It's like the last 5 kilometers or so, I think. It looks like we're going to be turning up, going up the hill pretty soon. This would have been loud coming down. You can hear the river way down in the valley. That's what I crossed a while ago after that meadow. Still going up though. All right, you may have seen some pictures of these. This is called a stile, S-T-I-L-E. Occasionally you'll go through private property and the homeowner will have a fence or the landowner will have a fence. It's actually, this property belongs to the Board of Education of Peel, the town of Peel. We are leaving the park and they have these little ladder step things over the fence so that the Fence is intact. This will often be on farms where people have animals, so they don't lose their livestock, but people can cross over the fence. So now we are on private property, but as I mentioned before, a large majority of the Bruce Trail is at the generosity of landowners, allowing us to cross. Foot traffic only. Some areas they don't allow dogs, some areas they don't allow the bikes. Generally, in each area you enter, it'll tell you things like that. What's allowed, what's not allowed. But when you're on private property, you don't leave the trail. Certain parts of the trail have been closed. A lot of that is because people don't obey the rules. Landowner gets upset and says enough and doesn't allow people on the trail anymore. Closes their property to foot traffic, and then the trail has to be rerouted. You know, as much as I want to go look over the ridge, I want to respect that. And going back up for a while here. Anyway, I just did not feel like taking as many snapshots today, so I figured I'd give you guys a bird's eye view of what the trail is like. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a river down there. I've seen a couple people today. About 45 minutes ago, a couple runners went by, and I just passed a lady in the conservation area with 2 big sheepdogs. You'll often run into more people in the parks and conservation areas than you will on the rest of the trail. A little chipmunk. Seen a bunch of black squirrels today. Haven't seen one in a bit. Try to get a video on one later if I see one. Anyway, this is probably pretty boring for those of you who aren't wanting to hike, so I'm gonna shut up and stick my phone back in my pocket. Probably killing my battery too, haha. Oh, a deer just went across the trail over there. I'm gonna get some pictures of this. This is a really unique fungus that I have never seen before. There's some over there. There's also some right here. Oh my lord. There's like a bazillion slugs. Look at this. I don't know that I've ever seen that many slugs in one place before. But yeah, check out this. I'm gonna have to Google Lens this later and find out what it is. I wonder if it's yummy. It might make me hair color though, so I probably shouldn't taste it. I have a feeling that those fungus I saw were these, and either they mutated or they were a lot bigger and those slugs just ate the heck out of them and made them look all funky. Yep, here's the slugs coming for them, I'll bet you anything. Those are just normal fungus, they're probably these. Yeah, it's too far back. I don't want to go check. Oh, check this out. Somebody must have gotten bored and put a bunch of... Oh, you know what? This probably used to be a trail and they wanted to shut it down because it's just this one section. The barbed wire's been here for a while. Been going through this forest here up on the plateau. Trail's gonna turn here in a minute. It looks like we're going out into a meadow or a field or something. Oh, we're just going along it. Looking at all these rocks here. This probably once upon a time was a farmer's field. Oh, it looks like it could have been an apple orchard. A lot of apple trees in there. Anyway, thought we were going out into the open, but just near the open. Yeah, you can see all the rocks. That's two purposes: clear their fields, make a border to their property. Back 100 years ago or more, probably. Anyway. Ooh, there's a big tree. A lot of old growth forest that I've gone through since I've started this trail. Well, that's odd. Oh, trail closed. There used to be a trail going through there. You can tell we're getting close to the edge of the escarpment again because the rocks are back. You can tell this part of the trail is not traveled as much by just random people out hiking. A lot narrower, a lot more overgrowth. If I was wearing long pants, they'd be soaked by now with all the weeds hanging over. Some deer tracks. Rocks are quite slippery today too. Just slow me down a little. I tend to average pretty much right on the dot, 4.4 kilometers an hour by the time I'm done with a hike this long. Up here, it's usually within 4.2 to 4.6, but it tends to fall right at 4.4 most of the time. Usually the first hour I'm booking. If the mosquitoes are out, I tend to go faster. Today has been fairly bug-free. Heard one mosquito, some annoying little gnats for about 2 kilometers that were biting. Not as bad as the gnats in Georgia when we go down in March, but definitely a little obnoxious. Anyway. Oh, the sun! It's trying to peek out. One of the main reasons I haven't been taking pictures, it's been kind of dismal. My phone does not take great photos without some nice light, so. I hear the road and I know I'm gonna cross a road soon, so that's probably what I am hearing. There's a whole ridge here. This is natural, unlike the farmer's hedgerow. Oh yeah, check this out. Anyway, mosquitoes are getting me. I gotta pick up the pace. That's a really pretty area. Just broke into some cedar trees. Whole different landscape. God, it's really pretty today. Bunch of ferns in that little... Some idiot in their litter. You can tell we're getting closer to the road. Yeah, I can see the road right there. It's a guardrail. Coming up to a road crossing. This happens to go straight across. That's the name of the road. It's also some famous dude, if you didn't know. So we just left that area with all the cedars. Crossed the road. Oh, here's river. Dry right now. But now we're in another forest with some newer growth trees. These are a lot of hickory and birch, and pretty much you can tell they grew fast and tall. And I'm not seeing any cedar, and I would bet actual money that this whole area had a forest fire back in the day, and all this has grown up since, but for whatever reason across the road didn't get hit with the fire as much. Probably some, because there was some of this kind of trees over there, but I don't know if you noticed the sign, the natural regrowth area or something like that in that last video. So they're trying to let that forest recover, and I'll bet you that it was spared from whatever forest fire came through here years and years ago. Because yeah, I'm not seeing any cedars in this part at all, and I'll bet you they all got burned up. So I'll try to dig into that later and verify it, but been around enough to know that's kind of probably what happened here. So, long enough ago, of course, you're not going to see any charred remains, but the absence of those big cedars so close to where they were across the road, it's a really good indication that's what happened here. So, thank you for tuning in to the Science Chat with Joe. It's another property line. This is quite old. God, the mosquitoes are really thick in here, so I cannot stop for very long. Oh wow. And now we're in pine. Pine forest. It's kind of cool. It was very abrupt. Oh, it was right after the hedgerow too, so this is likely planted. Yeah, they did not naturally grow this way. Oh. A lot of lumber industry in Ontario, and this probably was part of that. I believe we're in a part of the terracotta conservation area again. It kind of loops around and goes back and forth through it a couple times. I haven't looked at the map in a bit, but I hear a red squirrel. Listen. Never mind. I gotta keep moving. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. They finally came out. And just like that, it's over. It's just this one stretch. And we're going down again. As promised, if I can capture him. Black squirrel. Try to get a better video. They're pretty elusive. There's a pretty section. Sun's starting to burn a little bit of the clouds off. Getting a little bit more light. Trees are getting a little bigger, a little taller. Just kind of nice area to walk through. It's been pretty level for a while, which my knees are appreciating. Looks like we're actually going to be going by a park or something. Or, oh yeah, there's a slide. Oh, I do believe we're on reservation property. That actually could be somebody's house. Yeah, it's somebody's house. Just got a big slide in the backyard. Treehouse. Ooh, check this out. It's like pipe organ fungus. Very cool. There's another one over there too. Oh my god, the mosquitoes are bad. As soon as you slow down, they get you. Yeah, I spoke too soon. So much for it being level for a while. There's a cedar, by the way. And I did see a very, very old burned cedar. I should have taken a video, but I did take a picture. And we're going down again. But it did confirm my theory that there was a forest fire that went through here. This is literally the edge of the escarpment. If you watch all the videos, you'll get your own badge for surviving the seasickness. Whoa, that rock was a little unstable. All right, heading down for a bit. If I'm not mistaken, I looked at the map a little while ago. We're gonna go down for quite a while and then hit some road. I'm gonna follow a river down along until I hit the road, do about 2 to 3 kilometers of road walking, and then the Badlands. When I'm doing the road walking, I'll tell you a funny story about the Badlands. My first, I've never been to Badlands, but my first awareness of Badlands is kind of a funny story when I was little. So anyway, more later. Just coming down through here. It's worth a quick video. Kind of a section of the escarpment where there's some trees that are hanging on. Cherry tree. Past cherry season, so no food. I'm almost halfway through my hike, so I can get my sandwich out. A lot of this, I think, is a combination of natural and man-made to make the trail a little easier through here. Most of this is natural, but I think that section was built up a little bit. Oh. Big valley down there. Mosquitoes are fierce. They are making up for lost time that first hour and a half where they weren't bugging me. I should have kept my mouth shut. Oh, this is nice. A little bit of a boardwalk. Except we're going to probably be going through a swampy area, which means I'm probably going to have to pick up my pace. Because if the mosquitoes has already been bad, they are probably going to get much worse. Cool thing about... Oh, nice. We got some blue sky. Oh, some apples. The cool thing about the Bruce Trail, it's broken up into 9 sections. I've actually completed, I think, I'm not exactly sure where the border is. I think I completed the Toronto section today, and now I'm in the Caledon Hills section. If I'm not in that section yet, I will be before the end of the hike. I parked in Caledon, started in Toronto section. Each section is maintained, and stuff like this is built by the club members. There's like a club for each section, all volunteer, and they'll go through and weed whack. Like this has all been weed whacked, help with ticks and stuff. Some nice flowers. And they do projects like this. Most of these projects you'll see a little number on them, and if there's an issue, like if this collapsed or something, you can reach out to the club. Is that a number? Oh no, that's just the lumber tag. You can tell them number 2937 boardwalk broke, and their club members will go and take a look and do repairs, whatever. So anyway, that was a nice little boardwalk. In the spring, I bet you that's pretty wet down there. And now we go back up. Got about 2 kilometers, and then we'll be on the road. And as promised, I will tell you the funny story about the Badlands. And I think I've hit my halfway mark right about now. So I'm going to stop the video and eat my sandwich. It's a pretty section. Sun's coming out a little bit more, and going through a new growth forest with this looks really cool. Okay, I am about 4 hours in, 13 kilometers, pretty much on the dot. It was the trail up there, and now I have about, it looks like about 3 kilometers of road walking, and then I'll be in the Chetlam Badlands. And I promised a funny story about the Badlands, my first awareness of them. So as I'm walking down this boring road, which hopefully has a few less mosquitoes, I think I've donated about 1.5 pints of blood. Interestingly enough, almost every mosquito that I smacked, usually when you smack them you get a big spot of blood, but there was just water. So apparently they are starving. They're probably trying to eat frogs and stuff and not getting blood. They need the iron, so they are very famished, which is probably why they were so voracious. So anyway, the Badlands story. So funny story. Well, actually kind of sick and twisted, but I'm Gen X, so funny, sick and twisted, it's kind of the same thing. So I was 4 maybe, and my parents went to North Dakota to go to the Badlands, which of course I'd never heard of the Badlands, and they dropped us off in Chi-Li, New York at my grandparents' house, my father's parents, and my grandpa Arthur was a little bit of a sick and twisted guy. And I said, Grandpa, what are the Badlands? And so he told me how the Badlands are these lands out in the wilderness of North Dakota, and there's all these trenches, and if you fall into the trenches, the Indians get you, and they take you back to their village, and they burn you with a stake or scalp you. And of course my parents are going there for a week, and this is before cell phones, and so yeah, my first encounter or awareness of the Badlands was assuming that my parents were going to be captured by the Indians and killed. So funny story. I did find out that they returned, and my grandpa was full of crap, and saw the pictures of the Badlands and was like, oh wow, that's not at all. Where are the Indians? So anyway, that's my Badlands story. And never been to the Badlands before, never got to North or South Dakota. They are on my list, but Ontario has their own set of Badlands, which I'll get to in about 40-45 minutes probably. So, very exciting walking on the road. Figured I'd give you a taste of that as well, because this is part of it. Road walking when there is no landowners that are sharing their property is kind of part of the deal. So the next couple kilometers are going to be on the road. So thankfully this is dirt, not concrete or blacktop. It's much better on your feet and your knees. So anyway, that's enough of me. I'll probably pick up video again once we get to the Badlands, unless there's something interesting between now and then. It was about 2.5 kilometers of road walking, but I've reached the Cheltenham Badlands. I am here. That's the road I just came up. This is the Bruce Trail. It's going to see a little bit of Badlands here, and a little bit of Badlands there, and maybe see that, I don't know, before I get out the other side. At some point, maybe today, I may do the side trail. Oh, it's only 300, it's like 1/3 of a kilometer. Yeah, I probably will do this side trail. I don't usually do the side trails, but you got to get reservations to park here, and it's Canada's holiday too, so I wanted to see these, so this will be a good view. So we'll get a little side view of that. At 1/3 of a kilometer, well, if it's 325, it's like going to be 2/3 of a kilometer I'll add, but that's all right. I can handle it. Here we go, into the Badlands. The Badlands. Land that is bad. That actually is what it means. The term comes from the fact that nothing Really gross. Can't plant crops, so they considered the land bad. Hence the very literal term, the Badlands. There's a viewing platform up here. Pretty cool. Much more mini version than what my parents went to in North Dakota, but pretty neat. So we're here. Very cool. Little side quest here.
For parking, and then how much we paid per person?
Pretty neat.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember.
There's a description of how they're formed that I'll take a picture of for y'all. So that was a nice little side trip. I am back on the Bruce Trail officially. This is the most clay I've ever seen on the Bruce Trail. It was really slippery coming in with all the rain from yesterday. That's actually the first side trail, technically the second side trail I've taken. The other side trail was literally 100 meters to go look off a cliff, so that doesn't really count. But that was well worth the side trip, especially since it's always difficult to get parking here from what I've read. So if you park 13 kilometers away, it wasn't that difficult. So actually, I think I walked 15 and a half kilometers before I got to the Badlands. So anyway, back on the Bruce. Let's see, 15, 16. I don't know, 5 to 7 kilometers to go. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at my counter in a bit. Back on the road. It looks like the next, well, the rest of my hike today is on the road, so it's not going to be very interesting. I'll probably be done with video, maybe one more as I get closer to my car, but thanks for hiking with me today. This has been little snippets on the trail with Joe, doing the Bruce Trail. The remainder of this is on the road. Hopefully I don't get hit. I think I'm gonna cross. It's sometimes good to be on the left facing traffic and sometimes it's not. So I'm switching over now, they can see me. You don't want to be coming up on the left side of the road with a crest of a hill. Good way to get hit. I gotta switch back and forth. Anyway, this is really boring. Exciting drainage ditch. That's gonna be pretty much all the video today. Probably take some more photos as I go, but that's it. This has been the never-ending hill. Oh, there's a city. That is Toronto. Anyway, happy surprise. What I thought was a road is not a road. The trail went in a continual straight line and I just assumed it was going on the road. But it just veers into the woods, so it looks like the next 1.5 kilometers is just a straight line, probably down somebody's property line. Well, once it gets around this corner. Oh, this is going down into the valley. Still some clay, pretty slick. There we go. Ta-da! Yay, we're not walking the road the whole way. Get a little bit of woods before I get out onto the road again. I think once I get out into the road, that is actually where I leave off the Bruce Trail and take the road back to my car. So, getting near the end, which means I will be driving back towards Buffalo, but stopping in Port Dalhousie for a couple beers and some whiskey and some debriefing of my trip and uploading all these videos. And by the time you're watching this, I'm already drinking beer, so come join me. I am at the Lock Street Brewing Company. By the time you're watching this, if it's still, well, actually, if it's Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, or Monday afternoon on Labor Day weekend, because I'll be here all week. 3 days of hiking, trying to get 65K under my belt. That'll put me past the 300 kilometer mark of the 900 kilometer Bruce Trail, which will put me just over a third by the time I'm done on Monday, as long as I can get my ride lined up for tomorrow. I'm going to try to Uber because I can't find anybody to assist. So if you want to make 50 bucks, give me a holler. I'll let you be my Uber tomorrow. Oh, headed back up once again. I am almost to the end of the part of the Bruce Trail that I am hiking today. I'll still have about a kilometer to walk to my car. I can hear the road. That's the road I have to take to my car. And I'll be picking up tomorrow, hopefully, if I can get an Uber from right there. So, now I really am walking just the road. The Bruce Trail continues that way. My car is this way. About a kilometer. So this is the part where if somebody offers me a ride, I'd take it. Haha. Because this doesn't count towards the Bruce Trail. I am going to count it towards my mileage for today, but yep. That's it. I'll see you at the brewery. Back on the trail. So I wasn't sure about Uber today because I asked on the Facebook groups how reliable Uber was out here for hikers, and they told me that almost always they cancel because they see how far they're going to go to pick you up. Like this guy had to drive 20 minutes just to pick me up, and then they just go screw it because they don't want to drive 20 minutes to drive somebody 15 minutes. So this guy picked me up, no problem. He got a nice tip. I wish you could tip ahead of time. Because heck, I could put a $30 tip on there to guarantee I'd get a ride. I know DoorDash does that. Uber should do that. But oh well. I have a backup ride for tomorrow, but I'm going to try to Uber because that way I don't have to drag somebody from Buffalo and pay them more money. Haha. So anyway, back on the trail. This is a little chillier today. The breeze is going to be nice, though. It'll keep those mosquitoes away. A little breezy. Big storm came through yesterday afternoon and dropped the temperature quite a bit. But it looks like I'm going along this ridge for a while. I'm at just shy of 400 meters elevation. I had to climb this from 200 meters yesterday, that last section, so I don't have to do any extra hiking today too, which is nice. My car is right on the trail, and I got dropped off right on the trail, so no extra kilometer. But anyway, I am pretty pumped. I'm on track to be back at the brewery by probably 2:30 again because of traffic. But it's a nice hike this morning. Stay tuned. Holy crap, look at these. I thought they were like bowling balls or something. These are puffballs or some kind of huge mushroom. Look how big that is. It's bigger than my head. There's another one over here. That's crazy. It's humongous. Remember that elevation gain I was talking about? I'm losing it now. And as you've heard before, what goes down must go back up again. So, somebody left their water. Tisk tisk. Oh wow, that's a cool tree up there. Yeah, that's where it's going back up again. The trail crosses a abandoned railroad bed, which is kind of cool. And looks like it's heading to a road crossing, or I might be walking the road. I don't know. I hadn't really paid attention too much. I think this might be a road section. Yeah, a lot of litter today. I'm not used to seeing this. Local kids must come up here and party or something. Stairs suck. Yeah, I'm losing all that elevation gain. Actually, stairs suck, but that clay is slippery. There's still quite a bit of clay from guess it came from a lot of deposits from a river long time ago, according to the information sign at the Badlands. Ah, I see. We have to cross a river. That's why we're going to the road. Volunteers very nicely built this for us. And now I gotta look for the blazes. I don't see one, but this is probably the right way. Oh, there's a blaze. I don't think we're going that way, though. See, this is fun. I have the map, but you just kind of walk around and there's a blaze right there on that tree. Probably can't see it yet, but apparently they liked tattletales in Canada. This must be a popular fishing spot. if there's anything in there. Let's see. I don't see anything, but I'm not that patient either. Gotta keep moving. So yeah, there's the blaze right there on that tree, and I'm heading in the right direction. So yeah, apparently it's trout, and apparently they're wanting to put a sewage plant in, which would make the trout taste not so nice. And here we go, nature video. I've been passing a lot of these, but I haven't seen any that are ready. So this is a touch me not flower. I don't know if you're familiar with these or not. There we go. They come in two colors. They're this color. They're sometimes yellow. But what's cool about these flowers is once they're pollinated, they go to seed. This is one of the seeds, and this one's not ready yet. But they're called touch me not because this is how they disperse their seeds. This whole pod will grow larger and larger as the seeds grow. The casing does not, and so they get more and more engorged. These are getting close. They might actually work. And when you touch them, which happens by like wind, other things, they will rupture and shoot the seeds out over. There you go. See? Boing. There's one of the seeds. But they're kind of fun to. Let me get this one. Boink. One more, and then I gotta get hiking. And that's how they get dispersed. You'll see they're spreading more and more. So anyway, that's it. So this is an interesting situation. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the only place on the Bruce Trail this happens. But this next section, I've got to go down that road, hike 6.5 kilometers around this big loop, and then come right back here. See, that tells me I'm going left. And there's the next blaze. But if you look over there, there's another blaze there. So I'll post the screenshot of the map, but I have to go down this road about 1 kilometer, 6.5 kilometer loop around, I think it's called Forks of the Credit, and then walk right back the same road and head on my way. So I'll have to redo this section, but it's part of the trail, so I'm going to walk on this side going in and that side going out. So, but yeah, I think this is the only place it happens in the whole Bruce Trail. I may be wrong, but I looked ahead and didn't really see that again. So, yeah, look here. Northbound, southbound. So, this is definitely a first. I haven't run into this yet. So, anyway, that's it. All right, so it's been about 2 kilometers actually. And now we're at the decision point. According to the rules, you can do this loop in either direction. But being a purist, I'm going to take the left fork, which will get me right back here in 6 kilometers, hour and a half. So I'll be coming right out from there. There's a trail closure notice. I'm hoping this is a side trail. That's where I'm coming down from. Let's see. We're here. Okay, yeah, it's a side trail over here that's close. But yeah, so all right, it's only 1.1 kilometer. It felt like 2. There was a lot of uphill, so down will be nice. Puckering Lane. Yeah, so heading down this loop, Forks of the Credit Provincial Park. Headed back down this way. Looks like we're going all the way down into the valley, down by the river. Cataract Side Trail, which means there's some waterfalls down here. There's a viewing platform probably for the waterfall that's closed, so that would indicate the waterfall's probably somewhere in this way. So if I wanted to do that, which I'm not going to do it today, that would be a little side trail. Now, onward. A little dramatic section here. Bit of a cliff. Not a cliff, but a big slope. And it looks like there was a landslide once upon a time, or a huge rock that went down and got buried in dirt. It's hard to say. You can see this whole area here all cleared out, new brush. So something came through and destroyed all that. The power company came through and destroyed all that. Actually really cool. They carved the trail into the side of the very steep sloped hill, but just very cool. Through the old growth cedars. As I trip on the roots of the old growth cedars and fall down the cliff. There's the river we're going all the way down to, and then all the way back up. But this is actually a cool trail. So, knowing the way these trails go, I'm sure it's not going to be nice and gentle all the way down, but this little section at least is. Watch out for that rock. See, nobody likes stairs. Oh, this isn't that bad. And it's a road, not a river. Need a new prescription. That's probably, it's not really a road. It's a trail. That's probably the trail we'll follow. Or it could be a different trail. Anybody home? Alright, I'm gonna get a picture. I'm taking a video of this because I've noticed this in other places, and this gray matter, it's like dusting. I thought that it was from like some algicide or mold killer, because it was in one of the really populated parks, but I've been noticing it more and more. And if you look, there's these little tiny bugs. I can get a better video, I think, up here. Check this out. I don't know what they are. I'm going to find out. The last time I saw these, there was too many mosquitoes to get a video. Look at these guys. The bug itself is not the thing moving. I don't know if I can get a good video of this because it's just my cell phone, but it could be aphids or something. But look at their waving this. Mosquitoes are coming after me now. Oh God, the mosquitoes are bad. Come on, guys. Just give me a break. Let me get this. So whatever these are, they're all over this tree. Probably above me. Oh God, yeah. They're probably on me now. They probably fell. They're all over this tree. And I think that's what's causing this. It's all through there. Yep, there's a whole branch up there. So that's probably their waste. I'll bet anything. That's... Oh, I'm getting dusted by this stuff. So if I start hallucinating and my videos get weirder and weirder, you'll know why. Bruce Trail, World Dominion Trail. I guess World Dominion will have to wait. So the Bruce Trail goes that way, which I'll grab in a minute, but I hear water. So I gotta go down there. Fish in the Credit River. Brook trout, brown trout. If I was a trout fisherman, I would probably really like this spot. I am scanning. I don't see any, but that doesn't mean anything. From what I understand, fishing requires patience. I don't have a lot of that. Anybody that hikes with me will know I don't stand still very long. That being said, back on the trail. A little bit of an open meadow. Oh, nice ridge up there that I did not have to climb up. I have to climb up the one up there though. I am running this video to document the fact that there's actually a restroom, which is odd. I make sure to take a picture or video of every rest stop in the event that I ever write a book. They're not marked on the Bruce Trail map, but if I write one, I'll put them on there in case somebody doesn't want to just use the bushes. I think this is the third that I've ever seen. True to form, here we go up again. Quite a ridge to climb. If I'm not mistaken, looking at the topo map, this goes up a little further, but then it's pretty much downhill. And that kilometer point, 1.1 kilometer road was mostly uphill coming in, so that'll be mostly down. So my knees will be grateful for that. It is quite beautiful today. Finally saw a couple people on the trail. Oh, I talked about this the other day. Those are the numbers that they assign to any volunteer project, so that if somebody has an issue, hey, this log's falling off, whatever, they can refer to that number when they reach out to the club that supports that section. We're in the Caledonia section. Caledon? I think Caledon. Caledon, I think. I gotta double check that. But this section I just started yesterday. That club would support any issues, any trail maintenance. All volunteer, of course. But I'm going to stop the video because you guys don't need to hear me gasping for air. As I expected. Actually, heck, if you've put up with it this long, you deserve to see the summit of this ridge, or my horror to find out that it goes up another 100 meters. Feeling hopeful though that this really is the top of the ridge, especially as it's getting a little windier. Yeah, we're good. Open meadows with sumac. Yep. Trail goes that way, but I want to look out here. Looks like enough people have done this that it's probably worth seeing. Yeah. It was down there 5 minutes ago. All right. Back on the trail here in a second. It's a side trail, and Bruce Trail has options here, so I gotta look at my map. I didn't see two choices from here before. Somebody lost their keys. Nope, just a key ring. Cool, the trail's going into a bunch of sumac. It's really a bit cool visual. Interesting. Run into a whole lot of these. These are called scouring rushes. They actually are called that because they used to use these for washing dishes and whatnot. A very sharp point. From what I understand, you can actually scratch glass with that. But if you mush these up and mix them with water, they make like a soapy mixture. You can wash things with them. Used to be used in ancient times before soap, I guess. I don't know. But they're usually found in areas that are more wet, I thought. I may be wrong on that, but I'm still up here high on the ridge, and I just ran into all these. I know I've seen these a lot near marshes, near railroad tracks, actually, for whatever reason. But yeah, interesting. Could be that this area gets a lot of fog. Maybe it gets super moist up here. I don't know. Anyway, I see the road. This is the end of that loop. I am coming down the trail that I pointed to before that I would be coming down. It's almost like I knew the future. Wow. I was standing right there. Be weird if there was a time warp and I ran into myself. That's the loop I just did. If you recall, deja vu. And back to the road. 1.1 miles back the way I came, and then I get to be on new trail. And we're almost back to where I started this loop. Getting a little warmer. There is the north-south. And there's the trail there. I'm going to stop the video because I want to get a picture. Going through a lot of birch. These are a lot older than the ones we saw yesterday. And around a lot more. Birch trees don't tend to live very long. Tend to rot out pretty easy. Alright, so this is cool. Old windmill. Weather vane / windmill. A lot of old parts. We got a pump down here. This is what would have been attached probably to the actual windmill part, but there's a hand pump here too, so if you wanted to, that was probably the handle. You could actually pump your own water by hand if it wasn't windy. Pretty cool. Something written on it, I can't read it. try to get a shot from further back. There's a little park here, it looks like. There's a little reading library. Trail cam. Skeeters are getting me. Hello. Oh, geez. When did that happen? Oh, there's a guest book. I might as well sign this. Any good books? All right, moving on. It's turned out to be a beautiful day. Bluebird sky, scattered clouds. The road is not too far over there. Actually, you can see the power lines. Looking at the map, it looks like this next section. Yeah, some deer slept here last night. Looks like this next section stays off the road for a bit and then back on and then off and then on, probably because some of the landowners are letting us be on their land and some of them are not. But pretty much almost a straight line for about 12-13 kilometers to my car. Yeah, just hit the halfway point at about 11.5 kilometers. I will be doing a lot of road walking, it looks like, from here on out. There are a few places it goes into the woods, but largely this next section, they must not have gotten much help from the landowners. Got some pretty wealthy people in this area, I guess. Quite the mansion here. All that land. So, halfway there. 2.5 hours on the trail so far, that tracks. I expect it to be done in about 5 hours, so it makes sense that I'd be halfway done. I'm gonna video in a moment. There's a tunnel around the corner that goes under the highway. There's another tunnel further down that had some really awesome graffiti, and I'm hoping that they did this one too. We'll find out. I was just making fun of the rich people, and I have to amend that because this, I took a picture if you want to read it, but basically it says that the person that owns this property is wanting to donate 21.8 hectares to the Bruce Trail Conservancy, which means that they will be donating part of this land, so we won't be walking on the road, we'll be walking on the property. And there's another one of those massive puffballs. Holy cow. The thing is bigger than a basketball. Look, a squirrel. Tunnel's right up here. I might as well keep the video running. We'll both be surprised to see if there's graffiti or not. And graffiti is not a really good description. That was actually this amazing mural. And it doesn't look like there's anything fancy, so oh well. I'll let you walk through the tunnel though. I'm gonna start over though because I want to get a picture first. Okay, here we go. Tunnel maintained by the Bruce Trail Conservancy, so if it falls on us, it's the volunteers' fault. Too much dirt, it doesn't echo. So that was exciting. Ta-da. And now the trail goes that way. Bottom. There's a black squirrel. Doo-doo-doo. Pretty much all you see up here. I've only seen 1 or 2 gray squirrel. Well, I've been doing the road walk about 1.5 kilometers. It looks like there's a section that this landowner has been kind enough. Hopefully when they sell the house they don't take the rights away. They've been kind enough to allow us to hike. It looks like about 1 kilometer on their property. Here's one of these stiles. It's called a stile, S-T-I-O-E, to get over the fences. You see these a lot in farm country. Keep the animals in, if there are any. And we get to walk in the woods a little bit. This is definitely a nice break from the road. I think there's only 1 or 2 more little breaks from road walking. I'm actually parked on that road further down. This breeze is very welcomed. Very little bugs today, which has been awesome. Appreciate the volunteers who have come through and kept this trail weed whacked. It's quite an undertaking. It's been intermittent sun and clouds, which has been nice, especially in these open sections. Looks like there must be a quarry or something over there. Look at the huge dirt pile. Anyway, couldn't ask for a better day hiking. I guess you could, but you probably wouldn't get one. Still got about 10-ish kilometers to go, but it is what it is. It's part of the drill. A lot of milkweed. This would be a favorite of monarchs. If I see any monarch butterflies, I'll pull the camera out again. Until next time. Here we go again. Looks like people are climbing under. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind at this point. Getting a little whooped. Legs are getting tired. Pretty steep on the other side. Not ADA accessible, that's for sure. Access point. Alright, and we're back on the road. Yay! My favorite thing. Oh, there's some turkeys. Alright, back on the road. Crazy, even the animals up here are possessive of their property. Some squirrel is making sure we don't trespass. Chicken's nuts. So this is designated on the Bruce Trail map as Sunrise Point, which makes sense because there's a nice view over towards where the sunrise would be. Sunrise this morning was over there, but as it gets different times of the year, it probably does come up more in that direction. See Toronto and Hamilton. Good view from up here. If it was not so a little hazy, I bet you could see the lake. There's the CN Tower. Looking for that. Quite handy. Right there. Right in the middle. The long road walk. This is so fun. Looks like I've got about 9 kilometers to go, and it looks like 8 kilometers of that is on this very road. So, you would think that hiking 900 kilometers is all fun and games and exciting. Every twist and turn. A lot of it is not that exciting. There's quite a few sections where you're doing some roads. So, talked a while back about doing hard things, and I like to do hard things, and sometimes it's fun to do hard things and challenging. But you know what? Sometimes it's really, really boring. Like this. I did actually pass some hikers a little bit ago. I think you can see them behind me. They were talking to a lady that owns the property over here. She was out tending her fences or something, who knows. But it's not all bad. I knew this section was going to be all road, so I tried to fit as much of it as I could today. So 9 kilometers, 23, that's a good chunk. That's more than, I don't want to do math. I'm dehydrated and tired, and I want my beer. And I need carbs. I had a sandwich, but I've been burning a lot more calories, a lot of up and down. So I'll probably write a little bit more about how doing hard things can sometimes suck because it's boring. There is a section coming up that is, like, here's the road. Here we go. The road goes like this, about 9 kilometers more, and my car's up here. In about 6 kilometers, it jots over about 1 kilometer to go through about 1 kilometer of field, and then back another road, and then back out. So apparently this homeowner gave us 1 kilometer that we're allowed to walk through way over there. So the trail diverts on a road, cuts across, and comes back. I have to be honest, I want to just go straight through. But you can't, it doesn't count. You got to stay on the trail in order to count all 900 kilometers. So that's what I'm going to do. So, couldn't ask for a better day though to walk the road. Yesterday would have sucked. It is super humid. Totally dead calm. Would have gotten away from the mosquitoes probably, but the heat and no breeze would have really sucked. So we got a nice breeze today. The clouds keep covering the sun occasionally, and it is pretty beautiful. So anyway, that's all my rambling. I'll probably ramble a little more later. Thanks for hiking with me on the boring road. This is Escarpment Side Road. The Bruce Trail is supposed to go along the escarpment. I don't know that they really intended it to just be on the escarpment road. Maybe somebody got confused when they were blazing the trail. I don't know. Just left the road behind for a short bit. This is cutting across the corner, cutting across the road, doing that kilometer rather, through the homeowner's property, then back to the road for the rest of the trip. So I'm on the section that the road's right there. You can kind of still see it. I'm on that kilometer section that I was whining about before. It's actually going through somebody's farm. The rooster. That would be annoying to wake up to every day. And, this is going to go about 1 kilometer I'm assuming just down this farm road, maybe. Might cut through the. Yeah, the road goes that way, and there's a trail marker. I can see that the trail goes to the right, so it's probably going to go through the hedgerow, which is fine. And then back to the road. I'm guessing about 4 kilometers left after that when I get back to Escarpment Road, and then I'll get to my car. Final part that's actually off the road, and we're back on Escarpment Road. And my car is down this road. One more intersection, so a very rural block, which is about 1 kilometer, I guess. I don't know. I'll actually look in a second. The app crashed again, and I did figure out a while ago that I had almost exactly 3 kilometers till I got to my car. It feels like 2 kilometers ago, but I won't know till I look at the app again. At long last, I'm almost in view of my car. I'm crossing the road so I can see it sooner. There's my baby. Good, nobody stole her. Didn't get towed. Sadly, even though I have internet, my car does not have internet right now. Apparently I'm parked in a dead zone. I can't start my car so that it's nice and air conditioned. That was my plan. But almost back. Today was definitely not high on my list of favorite hikes. Definitely in the bottom. Lovely. A lot of that today. Glad I got as much of the road done as possible. I was going to park way back there, but I decided to add a whole bunch of kilometers to today to get a huge chunk of this road section done. Got about 4 total kilometers, I think, tomorrow on the road. Some of that's right away. Shorter hike tomorrow, probably 18, 19 kilometers instead of 23. But I think it was supposed to be 18, but I'm going to go another 1.5 kilometers to make sure I hit 300 total kilometers on the trail. I'll have hiked more than 300 kilometers because I've had to hike, a kilometer here and there to get to my car, but the official 300 kilometer point on the trail itself to get me 1/3 of the way. I want to wrap that up this weekend, so and then we'll go from there. That is all you're going to hear from me. I'll send a couple more pictures. I'm headed to Lock Street Brewing, which by the time you're watching this, I will have already uploaded from there because they have good internet. But that's all for me for today. And I just got dropped off. My car is about 20 kilometers down the trail. We had a 0% chance of it's raining, so that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I always keep my rain jacket just in case. Good thing I did. Fortunately, I got the 4K road walk done yesterday. I've got about 1.5 K to do here. Dang, I'd like to be in the woods right now because I'm getting wet. But I have a long shirt and raincoat on. It got cold. It's like 48 degrees right now. The last 2 days it's been super hot. but the weather shifted. But the show must go on. Now, I will hit 300K today, 300 kilometers. I'm gonna go 0.1 more because the entire hike into the weekend would be 6.6. I just think, yeah, let's do another 0.1 kilometer, make it 6.7, so I don't become the Antichrist or something. So anyway, this is gonna be a little bit of a boring road for a bit, but then I'll get into the trail. Got to the first turn off the main road. Been pretty busy. Heading down this way. Down Finnerty Side Road. If you haven't been to Ontario much, you wouldn't realize all the side roads they do. They will often name side roads just a number. Side Road 1, Side Road 2, Side Road 3, because they get, I don't know, pretty unimaginative maybe. Anyway, it looks like the rain's not going to last long, but I am sufficiently wet. It's been just misting. It's like one of those rains that if you were under the trees, I wouldn't even be wet at all. But because I've been exposed for the last kilometer or so, my raincoat is saturated already. But it is what it is. It's all part of doing this stuff. So you prepare for weather, even though you're not supposed to have it. So but, anyway, it should be a good day today. Only 20K. It's going to be a nice, quick, easy hike for me. Walking down the trail, going by cedars. It's quite a spooky looking woods. I wish we were going through that. Well, the rain is pretty much done. It looks like, at least for now. Still on the road. And starting to get too warm. Got pretty wet, but still keeping me mostly dry. I think I got about 2 kilometers of road left. I'm really glad. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we get to go into the woods for a short bit. Yeah, we do. Nice. It looked like it stayed on the road, but all right. The rain stops just as we get into cover, of course. Here we go. Into the woods. Looks like this is going to go right along the road for a while. That's why it looked like it was all on the road. Anyway, nice. Get to be in the woods. And we're back out on the road. It was a short little stint. I don't know if we're just crossing a road. Yeah, it looks like we're heading down that road now. That was a nice little diversion, though. Innes Lake and Finnerty Side Road. I'm guessing they have problems with people dumping stuff here. There's like 4 or 5 signs. Anyway. Looks like might be on this road for a little bit. That's what it looked like on the map anyway. So that's it for now. Coming to the end of the road walk. Looks like some locals use this Got their hiking sticks here. And here we go. Oh, somebody lost one of their map pieces. We all have these. All right. Back into the woods. So apparently I didn't hit record when the deer was running down the path. So here's a bunny. It was a nice buck. Oh, there he goes. Turned out to be a nice day. Sun's out, blue sky up there. Walking through a bit of a pine forest, which is nice. Wonderful smell of the pine. Soft needles underfoot. A bunch of red pine mostly, it looks like. It's turned out to be quite a nice day. Weather is great. I'm starting to get a little warm in this, so I'll have to take that off soon and get into a short sleeve shirt. But it is turning out to be quite a good day to hike. I'm excited because I'm only doing 20K today. So instead of getting into that place where I'm like, oh my god, only 3 more kilometers, I'll be done. And there will be my car. Actually, I have to pass my car and then come back. So I'll hit my car at about 18.8 kilometers. Then I got to keep walking so I can hit 300 and then come back. There wasn't really, the next parking spot would have added like 12 kilometers, and I didn't really feel like doing 30 kilometers today. So, heading down into the valley. We're started about 400 foot elevation and heading down probably 100 or more and then back up. The name of the valley is called the Dingle, Dingle. I'm like trying to figure out, oh, this is cool, look. Huh. Little carved out spot here. Interesting. I'm wondering if it kind of slid. There was a bit of a hill there. Anyway, all I can think is either some 12-year-old was naming the landscape around here, or it's some guy's last name. I feel bad for that guy going through school. So anyway, here we go, down into the Dingle. Taking a minute here to take in this view. Something really magical about this forest today. A lot more mature forest than some of the other pine forests I've been going through. There's been this brook behind me as I'm filming now, but you can hear it. At least I can. The animals are starting to get more active as the sun's coming out, warming things up a little bit. This is the bottom of that valley that I talked about, and it was nice walking down to the bottom, but going back up is gonna not be as fun, but it's all part of it. I don't slow down much when I hike, but this is worth stopping for a second and taking it in. I just passed an older couple that were hiking and excited about me hitting 300 kilometers, so that was cool. They're just out for a stroll today. They live nearby. Yeah, the water looks refreshing. Last time I drank water right out of a stream without filtering it, though, I got quite sick, and I'd like to not repeat that. All it takes is one animal upstream to either be dead or take a dump, and you're going to get quite sick, so. God, it's a nice day to wrap up a long weekend. Probably going to hike a little slower overall today because I'm going to take a little bit more time to enjoy it. And got an extra hour because I'm not doing that last bit, so make use of that time. When I hit the road, that's when I'll hustle. Alright, back up to 400 meters. I just stopped filming, but this is worth showing you. Look at all the birch. Looks like maple and birch mostly over here. This is literally, like, you can still see the valley down there. I think 2 videos ago I was referring to 400 feet instead of 400 meters. The map is in metric, of course, because we're in Canada. But what's interesting is that little valley with the river. One side is all birch and maple. The other side is all pine. Looks like some of the pine has made its way over, but for the most part, you got 2 totally different types of trees on both sides of the valley, which I think is pretty cool. Check this guy out. Holy cow. Wow. Alright, so this is a little confusing. This is why it's good to make sure you do your research before you start hiking. Get to this fence and it's like, why is the trail got a fence in the way and it goes that way, and I see white blazes that direction. So the Bruce Trail, I don't know if you can see this map, we're there. Well, we're on the other side of the fence. The Oak Ridges Moraine Trail is that red line, and the Bruce Trail is that black line. So my finger probably won't, yeah, I can't point, but if you look at the black line to the left, that is the trail I need to be on. The red trail, which has white blazes, which could be confusing, goes that direction quite a ways. So if you just looked over, saw the trail, saw the white blazes, you'd be like, oh shoot, you could actually end up going, oh god, 30 kilometers in the wrong direction. It's a pretty long trail, I guess. And if you hopped the fence, you would miss this sign telling you the Bruce Trail is that way. You'd be over here on the Oak Ridges Trail Association. I mean, you'd have to be kind of dumb because there's a lot of things that you could read that tell you, like here, you're here, Bruce Trail, Red Trail, Oak Ridges, Bruce Trail. I guess it's purple, not black. But anyway, both the Oak Ridges Moraine Trail and the Bruce Trail are marked with white blazes because that's really smart. I don't know why they did that, but it is what it is. So I'm going to take a picture of this, so if you want to read the sign, you can. Check out the fungus. Alright, back on the trail. I think I'll have about half a kilometer. I'm hitting a road. Don't know I haven't really paid too much attention to the map. I'm not sure if I'm just crossing it or walking along it. There's some newer pine through there. Kind of nice. Pretty. The sound of the breeze going through them is very soothing. We have a 2-for-1 special on this log. Nice fungus growing. I'm gonna grab a couple pictures. Wanted to give you a video first. Dang! I was gonna bring trees with me. Okay, so we're gonna play a game called Where's the Trail? Oh, this is one of the fun things about the Bruce Trail. I mean, you have a map, so you can always look at the map. But these are blazes. That tells you this is the trail, this is the way. You'll notice, I don't know if the sun will cooperate. That blaze there tells us the trail is going to go to the left. There wasn't a blaze telling me, oh, sorry. There wasn't a, oh man, the sky's beautiful. There was not a blaze telling me that I'm going any other direction, but I don't see a blaze anywhere. I could pull out my map, but that's no fun. I'm going to go kind of straight and then just kind of look. A lot of people walk up there. Could be that as I get around this corner here, I might see another blaze. Just gonna keep my eye out. Look around. Somebody over there with their dogs. Looks like a little park here. So far I'm not seeing blazes. They're usually pretty good about keeping the blazes fairly close together. There we are. See what happened? There was a blaze on that pole and it probably fell off. So, get back on the trail here. Yeah, there was a blaze there and it fell off or somebody took it. It's a souvenir. So, and there's the next blaze and we're back on the trail. Going through a little dog park. And it looks like it's going to go right back into the woods. Over here, yep. So, gotta follow the blazes. If you don't, you can always look at the map. And the Bruce Trail has an app now, so you can actually see where you are on the map. As long as you have cell battery. And that's it. So I've noticed a lot of the pines have this red arrow. CTM, some company with a number A46. I'm assuming they're designating some trees that have become diseased for some reason, because everyone I've seen it on, the tree's not doing so hot. So gonna have to look that up later. But I tried to Google Lens the arrow, but the internet is non-existent right where I am at the moment. God, it's a good day to be out here. So I'm backtracking a little bit because I want you to see something interesting. We pointed out earlier the difference from one side of a valley, river slash whatever to the other. So if you look here on this side of the very small river, I mean, it's a creek. It's not even significant. There's just your normal pine undergrowth, nothing, noteworthy. But if you watched my video yesterday, you will note these scouring rushes. This is sharp once it dries out. You can actually scratch glass with these. But these normally grow near water, thank you. And you can smash these up and use them as, like, if you were trying to wash your dishes when you were camping or something. That's all they used to do 200 years ago, so that's kind of what they used them for. But look when you get to this side. There's nothing on that bank. They're starting to creep in a little, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't want to show you that, but this side, it's dramatic. And they spread. Like, all you can see in the undergrowth of the forest are poking up everywhere. And check this out. Like, I don't know how far this is going to go on for. But as far as I can see right now, but there was nothing on that side. So it's just interesting, and I thought I would share that with whoever is insane enough to watch all these videos. But yeah, so that it's interesting. There's still more scouring rushes. I don't know how far they're going to go. Oh yeah, so apparently these red things have nothing to do with dead trees unless they want you to know, oh, there's a bunch of dead trees that way. Maybe there's 11 of them. So they probably have some other significance, and we might find out later. If we do, I will share it with you. So if you watch the video this far, this is an Easter egg. So yeah, there's that. I'm actually going to look at the kilometer marking right now and then report later, if I remember, how much further the scouring rushes go. Okay, so probably about 2 kilometers. Still got them. And then you'll notice a lot of younger forest, older forest. And look how dramatic it stops. That's it. They're done. There's a few stragglers. But by the time you get up here, I would be willing to pay you. I'd give you $10 if you found one past these trees right here. So my guess is that that area was burned over. Look at how tall the trees are here. Shorter. So there was a burn that went through there. And there's not a lot of, like in this area, you're seeing a lot of big trees, branches down on the ground, a lot of dense undercover, like rotting stuff over there. Burned over, ashes. That's probably one of the conditions that's really helpful for them to get started. But that's the reason. I'll bet you anything. I'll do some digging on the internet later and let you know, but that's probably the deal. This is older growth forest. Didn't get burned over. The fire stopped there for some reason, probably the river. Maybe it happened in the spring. Maybe it just, there's enough gap that the fire didn't leap across. Could have been a controlled burn years ago, who knows? But anyway, we're in an interesting, it's just really pretty in here with the sun coming through. So anyway, that's it. Mystery solved. Just want you to see this. It's just hard to capture. But it's just, wow. Just something's nice about this hike today. Could have been that yesterday was probably my least favorite hike I've done yet up here, but it's just a really nice forest to be walking through. God, it's just amazing. You might be wondering why the heck does he take so many stupid pictures and videos. I gave up a long time ago trying to take really high quality photos. Just let it be what it is. But when I did my 46 high peaks, I did not take a lot of photos and video. And even though I know I did them all, I don't remember a lot of it. I don't remember even the dates and times, because I didn't record any of that. I've been a lot more diligent with that this time. That's why I go to Lock Street at the end of each hike. Look at this. Switching from the hardwoods into the pine. So, going back into a little valley. There's a river. I bet you there's more pine on that side. Actually, the pine's just in the valley. Spoiler alert. Anyway, the photos are mostly for me. The videos are mostly for me. If you guys get some enjoyment out of them, great. Oh yeah, spoiler alert too. This is some commercial race, I think, because I've seen them on other polls. And CTM registered trademark. It's probably some Canadian trail maintenance, maybe. It's trail markers. No disease tree tracking, nothing sciencey like that. Just, yeah, this is where you're supposed to go. If we happen to be going down that trail and we get to the beginning of it, we'll probably find out what the trail actually is. But yeah, so this is for me. The pictures, the videos. I have a journal I'm keeping track of just stuff I see on the trail, and I write in that at the brewery details about anything that was notable. And that's pretty much the pictures and the videos I'm taking. If I go, oh, well, that's nice, I'll take a picture. Who knows? I might write a book someday. Snapshots from the Bruce. Just a bunch of random pictures and notes along the trail. Getting to a milestone of a third of the way done is kind of significant, and a lot of reflection when you're taking on a project this big. Figured it would take me about 2 full years, like hiking season years. So by the end of 2025, I should finish this. But I want to have some record of that, and it's a good way to do it. If I decide to write anything more in depth, sorry, you're on my video. If I ever write anything more in depth, I'll have some notes to look back on. Gonna hit the 1/3 mark today, and the mystery of these arrows deepen because the green trail goes that way and the red trail goes that way. So, anyway, I just embarrassed myself, but that was fun. So I'm gonna let her get a little further ahead because I'm hiking way faster than her. And it's really awkward when you have 2 fast walking people, because then you kind of have to walk ridiculously fast to get past them. So if you're watching this far, you got to enjoy that with me. And look, more scouring rushes, shorter trees. I did notice some signs about, there's a sign if you scroll back in my pictures of some controlled burns they are doing. So this area might be prone to some forest fires. So I want to get a picture of this tree, so I'm going to stop the video. And you're probably thinking, oh God, thank the Lord. Backtracking a second so you can experience this with me. Trail cam. We're gonna leave the forest behind. Please see older growth forest. Ta-da! Kind of a meadow slash replanting of the pines. I'm guessing this again was an area that was burnt off. I spy with my little eye puffballs bigger than my head. Check this guy out. On the other side of the fence. Here we go. Try not to fall over. Jeez. Sorry. It's big. That is probably about 15% bigger than a basketball. Apparently this part of southern Ontario has some massive puffballs. I know they exist. I found them online last night, but I've never seen them that big. So it's still pretty awesome. Oh, check this tree out. Looks like a locust. And a walnut. Look at that. Another big one. All right. This is more the size I'm used to, like being large. Before this weekend, I would have considered that to be a large puffball. I'm guessing there's some others around. I don't see any. Lunchtime. Ham sandwich as always. The next about a kilometer, we're walking along the road. This is one of the main roads in the area. We're going to cross it when it gets to the town of Mono Mills. A couple gas stations there. If I was desperate, I could go in and get some nasty gas station hot dogs or something. I'm good. I got my ham sandwich. This trail is going to go along the road. Looks like actually it's going down right next to the road. Probably walking out there. I'm going to cross the road at the crosswalk. And then go back to about this area where the trail picks up again. They don't want you running across a busy street. Looks like we're gonna get counted. Trail counter. You can pause it and read it. I got counted twice. Well, that explains why we're not allowed to cross the road here. Might be a little bit of a jump. No, gonna go all the way down there, about a mile, kilometer. Sorry, gotta think Canadian. 750 meters to be exact. Then it'll pick up again over there. I'll send a video at that point. Coming into the town of Mono Mills. They want us to cross at the cross light, stop sign, cross off, whatever. Which makes sense, it's a very busy road. I think the trail backtracks that way on the road for a bit. At least it looks that way on the map. The road I'm coming up to is Airport Road, which that's where I started. That's that first road walk I was doing. So we got two busy roads crossing each other. See Starbucks. If I needed more coffee and wanted to slum it, I could do that. So anyway, gotta put my phone down so I can navigate this dangerous crossing. All right, I lived. I know you were worried. Uh-oh, I'm gonna get in trouble. Put the phone down. I think I can handle it. So the good news is that even though the trail looks like it goes along the road, it goes probably a little bit in case you missed the picture earlier, backed by Bago Sand. All right, here we go. Trail is gonna take a right here. Not exactly sure where, but we'll find out momentarily. There it is. If that van says free candy, I'm in. Kind of a neat section. Lots of green. Right. Good, it goes further away from the road than I thought, so. Oh, by the way, I'm just over halfway done with my hike today. Looked at my time, I'm definitely slower, but I kind of knew that. If I get some road sections, which I have a few, I'll step up the pace. Alright, that's it. This tree had bugs under it when it was alive, eating the pith. You can see the under the bark too. Or maybe it was aliens. I want you to be surprised with me. I'm going up this gradual slope. Very solid line. You can't see that solid line all the way. Not sure if it's a field, a road, or a railroad. I figure you can find out. Yeah, it's a field. Meadow kind of situation. Younger trees growing. A couple different type of evergreen. Oh, nice. last, I don't know, half a kilometer or so. I think we started over there and just worked our way around the edge of this meadow with the pine. Looks like we're about to go back into the trees, so I just wanted to record a quick video. The sky is beautiful today. The wind sounds nice in the trees. Bunch of birch and pine over there. It looks like we're gonna head into the trees here in a little bit. So I wanted to just do a quick video beforehand. Another sumac tunnel. You can make wine out of these. I don't know if you knew that. You need sugar, but alright. Looks like it's gonna make its way slowly down into this valley. So we made our way actually rather quickly into the valley. Just a cool shot of all the trees as we're heading down in. Kind of cool when you're walking because the perspective changes the view, which kind of that's how vision works. So that was kind of a dumb statement. But so headed down and then back up again, of course. Kind of cool. I've been working my way up out of the valley. It's the valley I was in. Trail kind of just loops around all the way down that river and then back up the other side. Just checked my mileage. I am at about 12 or 13, close to 13 kilometers today so far. That means about 6 more kilometers till I get to my car. Then I got another 1.2 kilometers till I hit the 300 kilometer mark. Somebody's hiking with their dog. I hope somebody's hiking with their dog. Okay, good. So I've mentioned the blazes. I don't know if I mentioned what the blue ones are. The blue blazes are side trails. So the Bruce Trail is approximately 900 kilometers. They say approximately because it does change from time to time based on landowners allowing people on and off. Sometimes portions of the trail close, they have to reroute. So it's around 900 most of the time. There are an additional 500 plus, like something like 530, 540 side trails. And that number grows because there are new side trails all the time. Usually they'll have a side trail and then they'll tell you what it is. Glen Haffey, 4.8 kilometer shortcut trail over roads and woodlands, rejoins the Bruce Trail to form a 10.5k loop. So this trail would be a loop around, you can find it on the map itself, and it would rejoin the Bruce at some other point. And you could make your way back this way if you want to do the whole thing. So I'm not doing many of the side trails. I am marking down the ones that I'm interested in coming back to. The only full-on side trail I did was the one at the Badlands, because it was only about 700 kilometers total, or 700 meters total. So it didn't add a whole lot of time, and it was able to see the Badlands without getting a parking reservation, which is a very small parking lot if you saw the pictures. And it's a pretty popular place. So So this is a cute little bench over here. Random. I'm not going to sit down because I don't do that when I'm hiking. But I'm going to stop and take a picture. So this is kind of cool. There's two trees that one is getting enveloped by the other one. They're leaning against each other, and at some point the larger tree started to engulf the smaller tree. Trying not to break an ankle. And check this out. Sorry for the crazy footage here. There we go. Let me get this out of the way. Look at that. It's just like trying to envelop it. Getting there. Both trees are still living, so eventually it will keep growing around that. Pretty neat. Just got out of the trees after coming up out of that valley. If you've been looking at the pictures, this land was donated by that guy on the plaque. I think everything on this side of the fence. But, Humber Heights is what this area is called. And up ahead, according to the map, is the Humber Heights Lookout. So we're gonna discover it together. I don't know how much of a lookout. Ooh, I can see through the trees. It looks like it'll be pretty. A lot of up and down today. It'll be nice to get a view. There's a bench for those who actually like to sit and rest while they hike. And a little bit of a view there. The W. Garfield Weston Foundation, 1998. Humber Heights. I'll take a picture of this if you want to take time to read it. I usually read those over a beer later. I'm all about leave no trace, but it would be nice to chop a bunch of those trees down. Get a nicer view, but you know what? Benches are good for more than sitting. Watch me. Okay, it's sturdy enough. Well, you can see the view. I can't. I'll watch later. Alright, I gotta get going. Wow, there's two more plaques. I'll just take pictures. Alright, I'm going back to this one. This random plaque that I thought was going to be a donor is actually a quote from one of my heroes. Christina, I don't know her. She wasn't my hero. Jacques Cousteau. For most of history, man has had to fight nature to survive. In this century, he is beginning to realize that in order to survive, he must protect it. I think that's a pretty cool quote. If you know who Jacques Cousteau is, he's an underwater explorer. I remember seeing videos of him doing crazy scuba diving stuff when I was in grade school. It started the desire to become a marine biologist, which never happened, but definitely had a lot to do with my love for nature. And thinking of survival. I need this to survive. In the world, the day-to-day craziness and overdue tasks and calendar reminders, and we use this app called Todoist. The 600,000, well, no, maybe like 137 overdue tasks that I keep moving. You could just consume yourself with that if you didn't pull away once in a while. And it'd be easy to do that. So the Bruce Trail Conservancy has taken the effort and the money to recruit donors and get people to give us a place of refreshing and survival, really. So if you're not out there, getting out there into the nature, even if it's just a walk in the town park, make sure you do it. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you surviving. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This would be my worst nightmare. I can actually probably catch up and pass them. There is an organized end-to-end hike for this section, the Keldon section, and I bet you anything that's them. Can you imagine having a hike with 20 other people? Oh my god, I'd lose my mind. I'm good hiking alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm counting them as I go by that mailbox thing. 7, 8, 9, 10. Or 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I'm gonna pass them. Unless maybe that's a parking lot and they're done for the day, that'd be good. Well, this is gonna conclude some non-road walking. And I'm gonna shift to a little bit of road walking here. Blue sign, that means side trail. And I looked at the map, that's a side trail to that parking lot. So I don't have to pass the end-to-end hikers of this section. There they are. Congratulations to them. I know they were doing some organized hiking this weekend. That is the 7th Line Road parking lot, and now we're going to be hiking along 7th Line for a while. Oh, here's brush off your boots. This is important to prevent invasive species. Garlic, mustard, Carmen buckthorn, and dog strangling vine. Don't want to get any dogs strangled. I thought that was the vine growing there. So anyway, I am going to hike on the road for a bit. I'm trying to catch a picture. Monarch migrating. There he goes. I am in the final stretch of today's hike until I get to my car. No more road walking. It was a very short road walk, less than a half a kilometer. But today's been interesting. When I get to my car, I have a decision to make. I'll be 1.2 kilometers shy of 300 kilometers, which is a third of the Bruce Trail. That's like book 1 of a trilogy. Do I want to complete it, or do I want to save those last few pages? I was 100% going to finish it when I started this morning and even a couple hours ago, but I've been noticing my pace is slowing, and that's odd for me. A lot of it has just been taking the time to enjoy it, but I think ultimately it comes down to the fact that I'm lining up and wrapping up a section, a chapter. There's a puffball. Ooh, that one got broken off, so maybe it wouldn't be wrong to take it and eat it. All right, back to my story. So, I just finished a really good novel, and some people are walking by, so they're gonna hear me chatting. So, hello. How are you? Good. So yeah, I just finished a really good novel, and I noticed the last few chapters, I put it down a lot. I'd really gotten to know the characters really well. Started to kind of wonder how it was going to turn out, and knowing that it was going to end in like 10 pages. Even less if the publisher decided to sneak in a few pages of some other novel, which thankfully they did not. But I feel like that today. I don't really want to turn the next page. Not sure why. There's something there to kind of ponder, think about. So, in less than 2 kilometers, probably like 1.8 now, I have a decision to make. Am I going to push on, hit that 300 kilometer mark? Probably. I'm too driven not to. But it's not going to be a decision that I make just because. I'll need to know it's time. I kind of feel like this next chapter after kilometer 301 to 600, the second third of the Bruce Trail, I may hit the pause button before I pick it up. I'm not sure. I'm going to flip the camera because spot. And you guys don't really want to look at me anyway. When you're reading a book, you don't know what's around the next page. And, when you're hiking a trail like this, I mean, you got your guide and your map, and I kind of preview that ahead of time to get a rough idea what I'm facing, but that's kind of like reading the description on the back book cover sometimes. You don't know what each turn is going to give you. So, if you're watching this video, you're kind of experiencing some of that yourself. Hopefully I'm not making you too seasick. But when I hit that 300 kilometer mark, that is the last page of that part of the series. That's the end of that section, the end of that book of the trilogy, whatever literary term you want to throw at it. Some animals over there just saw a stick moving. Probably one of those squirrels. If I get attacked by a bobcat. No. 300 kilometers. Am I going to pick it up again next weekend, or am I going to hit the pause button? It's getting more and more difficult to do the hikes because of the distance I'm driving. It was easy when I had to drive 20-30 minutes to start. My drive this morning with zero traffic, starting at 4:45 in the morning, was 2 hours and 9 minutes. So 2 hours and 9 minutes to hike around 5 hours and then drive back. It's worth it for me. If you listen to my video earlier about survival, it kind of just keeps me alive. Not in like a literal sense, like I would not die. My soul would. I'd be crushed. just life-giving to be out here. But I gotta change my strategy as we move forward, and there'll be a lot of that in book number 2, chapter 2, if you will, whatever. Kilometer 301 to 600. At some point in that transition, the drive up for the day, hike and drive back isn't going to work anymore. It's going to require a little more preparation and thought. And I didn't mean to switch that back. Especially right before you come into here and see these nice big trees. An old trail that's no longer allowed. But I'm going to wrap up this little chat because I feel that I'm getting closer to the car. And am I going to press on, or am I going to hit the pause button? Pretty sure I'm going to press on. You can just click next and find out. Because if there's pictures after my car, you know I kept on, which I probably will. Kind of need to. So I think that's a given. I think the next few days is going to be deciding if I'm hiking next Sunday. I can't Saturday. Am I going to pick it up and keep rolling? 150 more kilometers. That's about 6 hikes. I could do it in 5 if I really pushed it, but I probably wouldn't. 6 more hikes. I mean, next weekend. A couple double weekends in September. 1 or 2 in October. Could totally do it. Very doable for me. Would get to see a lot of the fall color. But there's a lot of other stuff I want to do too. I haven't been out in my kayak much this summer. Did a lot in Maine, of course. Got some early in the spring. I might actually this Saturday because I got some work stuff going on in the morning, but that afternoon I can get on my kayak, get on to Clear Lake, sit there, read a new book that I started. But I don't know. I haven't decided. My original plan was to crush this thing in a couple of years. But I think we're just going to have to wait and see. I might stretch it out into 3 years. Kind of like they did with The Hobbit. That ridiculous monstrosity. So, anyway, there is a plaque here, and I'm boring you all. And there's a lot more to say here than I could do in a little video. So, it might kick around in my head for a bit and make its way out onto paper. But I'm going to take a moment to not sit down. I don't rest when I hike. But get some pictures of this plaque, and then I will update you and let you watch me hit 300 kilometers. Here I am back in the parking lot. There's my car. And of course you knew I would be continuing, so yes I am. So you are here. You're actually sitting in your couch, but I am here. So right about there under my fingernail, I have it marked on my map, is the 300 kilometer mark of the Bruce Trail. So in perspective, that's the enlarged area. This whole red line I've walked already. So pretty much every other weekend, except for most of August, since June, I've been walking this trail. And today I'm going to round up the first third. And then I've got 2/3 to go. And right there by Lake Huron, that is the halfway point. That's 450 kilometers, which actually is kind of cool because it might be the first time I get to see Lake Huron, the Georgian Bay side of it. Well, I've seen Lake Huron, but from the trail. Well, from the trail, hiking the trail. I've been up on the trails up near Tobermory, but about 1.2 kilometers. The nice part is this is a side trail. I'm doing this on the way up, but once I hit 300 kilometers, I can cheat and walk back the side trail. It's only half a kilometer back to the car from the 300 kilometer point. So onward. So I've decided you're not coming with me for the last page, so I'll send a selfie. But I'm here at the other side of that shortcut back. Didn't take me long. It's only like a 10-minute hike. 1.2 kilometers is not far for me. Around that turn, oh, it looks like you got some maple trees that are tapping. That's what this whole forest is maple trees. Definitely feeling like the end of book one. That point where you're excited about what book two will bring, but you're kind of not done with book one. And I've probably stopped here longer than I have yet on this trail, I would say. It's definitely given me a lot to think about. Lots happened in these last 299.9 kilometers, because I'm not there yet. Learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about other people. And I'm excited for the next 300 kilometers, but I'm also not wanting this first 300 to end. So I'm going to do that by myself and send you a selfie after. I'm going to shut this off and read the last page. Alright, so I'm leaving no trace, well, mostly no trace. So I had my moment. I told you you couldn't participate, but I have to show you this because I think this is kind of funny. So that's the 300 kilometer mark, according to my calculations, which of course change based on the trail length. But this is probably just about a 1/10 of a kilometer past what would be the perfect place for the 1/3 mark. And you'll see in a moment, because how cool. Oh, check this out. Wood turners would go crazy over this burl. Holy moly, that's beautiful. Anyway, what have we here? Literally 100 meters past, or before the 1/3 mark. Right on the trail, there's a nice little gazebo. Now, why couldn't have that? That would have been the perfect place for chapter, or for book one to end, but no. Someday it could be. Maybe one day it was. This could have been the 3rd mark, but I did not see any markings to indicate that. Just a random rock. So, anyway, pretty excited. I am done with book 1. It was a good book. Highly recommended. You probably don't want to read it as fast as I did. I'm a little crazy when it comes to that. 16 hikes, I think. 300 kilometers. Started out slow. I could definitely have crushed it in less than 16 hikes, but I decided to slow my roll a little bit so I could spend more time each day at Lock Street Brewing. Probably through chapter 2, spend some time there. So here's the Harmony Side Trail. We're going to be taking this back because I can. I'm not re-hiking what I just did. I want to get back to my car, fight that horrible traffic, going over the QEW over the bay, and hang out for the afternoon at Lock Street Brewing. So, stay tuned. I hear book 2 is pretty awesome. And I think I'll bring you along with me a little more often. I don't know if anybody is actually watching these ridiculous videos, but I'll probably stitch them all together in one long, obnoxious video that if you get through the end, I'll buy you a beer. How's that? So, like I said before, this is mainly for me. When you're doing something this kind of crazy and epic, nice to have something to look back on and remember what was going through your head, what were you thinking, feeling, all that good stuff. And I don't have that for my journey through the 46 high peaks. Got some photos and whatnot. If I dig through my Facebook, I can find them. But this is a little more long lasting. These will be on Facebook, but I will also, I've been archiving them on a external drive in case Facebook shuts down or something. I think I'm up to over 3,500 pictures and videos. When I looked at the album yesterday, I'm like, yikes. You know, if you are one of the few crazy people who've looked at all the pictures and videos, I commend you. And join me. I'm going to be at Lock Street. I will buy you a beer. I'll be there. Well, when you're watching this, probably only another hour and a half or so. But after every hike, I hang out there for a while. I don't know if I will in chapter 2, book 2, rather. It's getting farther and farther to drive. And that's it. So, till next time, enjoy. I know I will. So I'm standing here on the, getting wet, on the pier at Port Dalhousie. And yesterday I was noticing a view of Toronto from the other side. So there's a CN Tower. I don't know if you've watched my videos, but when I was doing that crazy road walk, I zoomed in and saw Toronto from the other side. So probably about the same distance from Toronto that I am now on the other side. So pretty wild. But yeah, I'm on the pier of Port Dalhousie, enjoying the people and the sun, and not gonna stick around for the sunset. I haven't done that here yet, but one of these days, maybe if I crash here for the weekend, you know. But wouldn't have to wait long. But yeah, I want to get home. But final pictures from Port Dalhousie on this long weekend, which is the official term when you're in Canada. They have a few of them all summer, and I've experienced a couple of them, and been enjoying the hiking up here. Almost 66 kilometers, just shy of that, and my legs are still buzzing, but just enjoying the last little bit here before I drive back home, and till next time.